Welcome on board, Chosen One. Well, well, well. Look who finally stepped into the light. Look who walked in and made the whole room flinch without lifting a finger. The silence you hear, that's not respect. That's fear dressed up as confusion. The enemy can't decide whether to glare at you or bow, because somehow, without trying, you keep catching them in their own lies. And they hate that. They really, really hate that. When they said you were too observant, what they meant was you're ruining their little performances. When they said you overthink, what they meant was you saw straight through them before they could finish rehearsing their script. When they joked that you read people too well, what they really wanted to say was, how the hell does this one know everything without being told a damn thing? You make them nervous, Chosen One, deliciously nervous. The kind of nervous where their voice cracks even when they swear they're telling the truth. The kind of nervous that makes fake people suddenly talk too much or not at all. Because you carry the kind of intuition that turns confident pretenders into shaky amateurs. Tap the like button and subscribe right now. Consider it your entrance fee for this underground briefing, because this message you're hearing is the one they hoped you'd never receive. Let's continue. You've noticed it, haven't you? The shift, the way your presence forces them to triple-check their own stories, the way their smile twitches at the corner when you stare too long. Your sixth sense has upgraded from weird talent to full-on psychological hazard. You walk into a room and suddenly everyone's secrets start sweating. They whisper about you now, not because you did something wrong, but because you keep being right. You can feel intentions before they form. You read danger before it moves. You catch betrayal in its planning phase. And every time you're proven right, they break a little more inside, wondering how someone like you even exists. They tried to gaslight you into silence. Cute. They tried to convince you your instincts were wrong, adorable. But here you stand, calm, unbothered, and terrifyingly accurate. You're not dramatic, you're not paranoid, you're not sensitive, you're awake. And nothing rattles the world more than someone who sees the game for what it really is. I'll tell you something they'll never admit. Your sixth sense isn't causing their trust issues. It's exposing the trust issues they were already hiding. You're not breaking anything. You're just revealing what was cracked from the start. And now they have to face the truth without the luxury of fooling you. This is the moment where the villain becomes the hero. Not because they wanted to save anyone, but because they're the only one who tells the truth without trembling. So here you are, Chosen One, standing in the aftermath of their lies, untouched, unbent, and unbothered. The world treats you differently now because it finally realized what you are. A mind that sees too much, a heart that feels too early, a presence that exposes without speaking. And after everything they threw at you, you're still here, sharper, colder, smarter. Your sixth sense didn't ruin anything. It revealed everything. And now comes the part they never wanted you to reach. The point where you stop doubting your sixth sense and start using it like the weapon it truly is. If you've made it this far, you already know this isn't some casual scroll-by message. This is the briefing they prayed you'd skip. But here you are, still standing, still watching, still proving why your intuition gives them trust issues in the first place. Before we move forward, Chosen One, mark your presence in this battlefield. Drop a comment with 777 if you're ready to sharpen that instinct until it rattles every mask around you. It's not superstition. It's a signal, a silent nod to the universe that you're done shrinking your power just to keep fragile people comfortable. And now, let's step deeper into this layer by layer. Don't even pretend you're not staying. A real chosen one feels the pull, the tension, the shift. You already know this story is about you, and the ending is going to expose more than they ever wanted revealed. Let's proceed. Number 1, they feared your truth long before they understood it. Funny how they mocked your warnings, right up until the universe slapped them with the exact disaster you predicted. Nothing humbles a liar faster than a truth they tried to laugh off. Now, buckle in, chosen one, because this is where the enemy gets cooked alive by their own hypocrisy. This is where we peel back the curtain and expose the reason your intuition gives them trust issues in the first place. This isn't about being smart. This is about being dangerous in a way they never prepared for. This is about having a mind sharp enough to slice through their stories before they even finish lying. You knew before they did. And you always have. Think back to every time you called something before it happened, the exact moment, the exact feeling, the exact shift in someone's tone, posture, energy. You didn't need proof. You didn't need evidence. You didn't need them to confess. You just knew. And what did they do? They laughed. They shrugged. They rolled their eyes like you were the dramatic one. They told you to stop imagining things. Meanwhile, you were decoding their entire personality in seconds while they struggled to string together a convincing lie. And then the moment arrived. Reality played out exactly how you predicted. Not vaguely, not close enough. You hit it with sniper precision. Suddenly, their smirk evaporated. Suddenly, the room got quiet. Suddenly, you weren't overreacting. You were terrifying. That's when the fear started. Because the moment you demonstrate accuracy, they can't explain. They stop treating you like someone to correct and start treating you like someone to watch. You ever notice how fast people switch up when they realize you see through them? One day, they're calling you intense. The next day, they're monitoring every word they say, hoping you don't catch them slipping again. That's what your intuition does. It forces masks to malfunction. It ruins their performance because you keep catching the rehearsal notes tucked behind their smile. And let's be real, this wasn't some fluke talent that appeared overnight. This has been happening since you were young. You were the kid who sensed when an adult wasn't genuine. You were the one who felt tension before someone even walked into the room. You saw through friends who thought their betrayal was unpredictable. You knew who would leave, who would lie, who would break your trust long before they knew it themselves. That isn't luck. That isn't guesswork. That is pattern recognition powered by pain, experience, and evolution. They hate you for this. They hate that you're not fooled by sweet words, fake apologies, or carefully curated personas. They hate that you can detect dishonesty by the way their voice shifts half a note. They hate that you notice the pause before they answer. They hate that you feel the energy someone gives off long before the truth reaches your ears. You are a threat to their illusions, a glitch in their manipulation, a crack in their carefully built facade. Imagine their frustration. They spend hours rehearsing excuses. They spend days crafting stories. They build entire personalities just to look good to the world. And then you walk in, glance at them for half a second, and their whole narrative collapses like a cheap stage prop. You are the villain in their fairy tale because you refuse to play along with their fantasy. Why does this person always guess right? Why do they always catch me? How did they figure that out? These questions keep them up at night. They replay conversations, trying to understand how you slipped past their defenses. They modify their behavior around you because your presence exposes them. You read the manual while they're still looking for the table of contents. And here's the twisted part they'll never admit. They admire you for it. They envy you. They wish they had this instinct, this clarity, this built-in lie detector. But instead of learning from you, they choose the coward's route. Mocking you first, fearing you second, and resenting you forever. Let's talk about those moments when you sensed betrayal before it happened. You felt the shift in someone's loyalty, the colder tone, the shorter texts, the new excuses, the sudden distance. You didn't need proof. You didn't wait for the betrayal to slap you in the face. You already knew. And then the betrayal came exactly the way your intuition whispered it would. That's not paranoia, that's mastery. All the times you predicted outcomes for others, relationships ending, friendships breaking, opportunities collapsing, because you sensed the energy behind the scenes long before anyone else acknowledged it. You weren't trying to be a prophet. You weren't trying to impress anyone. You were simply seeing what was already there while everyone else squinted at the surface. Your sixth sense has always been ahead of the crowd. It sees patterns before they become events. It detects motives before they become actions. It catches lies before they become confessions. And every single time you're proven right, the enemy loses one more piece of confidence, one more chunk of control, one more part of their fake persona. See, they think their inner world is sealed shut. They think their intentions are invisible. They think their secrets are buried. But you're the storm that uncovers buried things. You're the spotlight that exposes what was hiding in the shadows. You're the quiet presence that forces truth to rise, whether they like it or not. You are the one who reads the subtext they didn't know they wrote. This is why they try so hard to gaslight you, not because you're wrong, because you're right too early, because you call things out before they happen, because you see motives before they have time to disguise them. Their only defense is to make you question yourself. If they can blur your clarity, they can keep their lies intact a little longer. But you know better now. You've lived too long, seen too much, suffered enough to recognize the pattern. Every time you doubted yourself, you later realized you were right all along, every single time. And here's the truth they can't stomach. Your intuition isn't a flaw. It's not an accident. It's not a burden. It's the system upgrade they were never meant to have. You are the one who sees the twist before the plot reveals it, the one who senses the storm before the clouds form, the one who detects motives before the words are spoken. You knew before they did. You always have. And that terrifies them more than anything else. So stand tall, chosen one, own that instinct, wield that insight. Your sixth sense isn't giving them trust issues for no reason. It's exposing the exact things they hoped would stay hidden forever. Let's continue. Number 2. The gift that makes their masks crack on contact. Nothing scares a pretender more than someone who sees the truth before they finish lying. Your intuition isn't the problem, their behavior is. You're not exposing them, they're exposing themselves by panicking around you. Every time you're right, a mask somewhere slips. Here we go, chosen one. This is the part of the story where your so-called curse reveals itself as the very weapon that has been shaking their world from the moment you learned how to use it. This is where we expose why your sixth sense doesn't just unsettle them. It unravels them, bit by bit, layer by layer, lie by lie. Someone walks up to you with a smile plastered on their face, but your gut twitches, not because you're dramatic, not because you're paranoid, because your instinct catches the frequency of their intentions before they even speak. You feel the wrongness in their tone, like a cold draft in a locked room. They're trying to play friendly, but your inner radar is already mapping out the cracks in their act. You don't need proof. You don't need receipts. Your gift reads the things their face doesn't have the skill to hide. Imagine this. You're standing in a crowded space, people laughing, talking, pretending. Yet you catch one glance from across the room, and instantly your mind whispers, that one is not what they appear. You're not analyzing, you're not overthinking, you're sensing, and every single time the universe confirms it later. That's not coincidence, that's not luck, that's calibration, precision, evolution. Someone tells you they're fine, but their energy pulses like a quiet earthquake. You can feel their storm before they feel it themselves. You know when someone is close to breaking, even if they swear they're calm. You detect emotional weather patterns like a human barometer. And when your predictions come true, they look at you like you've committed a crime just by knowing too much. Or imagine this, someone promises you the world, dressed in honeyed words and pretty gestures. Everyone else melts. But you feel the expiration date in their voice. You sense the instability behind their enthusiasm. You hear the silence that will come later. And sure enough, 3 weeks pass, and they vanish exactly the way your intuition predicted. Suddenly, they're the ghost, and you're the villain for knowing beforehand. That's what drives them insane. They can't lie to you effectively. They can't hide intentions. They can't pretend around you without sweating. You make their masks malfunction. You turn their rehearsed lines into stutters. You force their illusions to glitch. Because your gift doesn't wait for evidence, it reacts to truth in real time. Now, let's address the question chosen ones always ask at this point. Why do they try so hard to make me doubt myself? Simple. Because your clarity destroys their control. Because your accuracy exposes their weakness. Because your insight makes their manipulations look amateur. They need you blind, chosen one. They need you second-guessing. They need you disconnected from your instinct so they can keep performing in peace. If you're confident in your gift, their entire strategy collapses. They can't mislead you. They can't emotionally trap you. They can't run their games. You ruin the script. You burn the stage. That's why they try breaking you. They call your intuition a curse, a problem, a mental overreaction, not because it is, but because they are terrified of its accuracy. Imagine this. A thief walks into a room thinking no one knows what they've done. But then they see someone staring at them with eyes that say, I know exactly who you are. The thief isn't scared of the stare. They're scared of the truth behind it. Their guilt reacts before they do. Their fear confesses what their mouth refuses to admit. That's you. You're the silent confession extractor. Their biggest nightmare isn't you calling them out. It's you seeing them too clearly without saying a word. They fear your silence more than your accusations. They fear your intuition more than your anger. They fear your calm more than your chaos. Because your calm means you already know. This is why they've tried to convince you your instincts are broken. Think about it. If your gut is wrong, then they get to live without consequences. But if your gut is right, consistently, repeatedly, brutally, then everything they've been hiding becomes vulnerable. And fragile people don't like being vulnerable. They prefer you blind, confused, apologetic. Because a chosen one who trusts their own instincts, that is the most dangerous person in any room. Let's dig deeper. This gift of yours isn't something you got, it's something you grew. Every lie you survived became part of its programming. Every betrayal sharpened it. Every time you doubted yourself and later realized you were right, your intuition evolved. While others cushioned themselves with ignorance, you were forced to learn the uncomfortable truth over and over until your gut became smarter than their words. Your gift is the result of every wound, every disappointment, every moment where someone thought they could outsmart you. They didn't realize they were training you. They were sharpening the blade that would one day slice through their own illusions. And now, here you stand, stronger, sharper, and more aware than anyone expected. Do you want to know the truth they whisper behind your back? How do they always know? Why can't I lie to them? How did they read that so fast? Your existence forces them to confront the fact that they are predictable, transparent, and nowhere near as clever as they believed. Your intuition ruins their ego. You puncture the delusion they've built around themselves. They aren't mad at you. They're mad that they cannot hide from you. And here's where the fun begins. Their panic is proof of your gift. They look uneasy when you walk in. Good. They change the subject when you ask a simple question. Excellent. They get defensive when you point out something obvious. Perfect. Their reactions are confessions. Their discomfort is evidence. Their paranoia is acknowledgement. You are the mirror they didn't ask for, the truth they never wanted, the clarity they weren't prepared to face. And the universe made sure you could see right through them because you weren't meant to live in the dark. You were meant to navigate truth with a precision that leaves pretenders shaking. So here's the final gut punch for this section. Your gift doesn't drive them insane because it's strange. It drives them insane because it's accurate. You're not cursed. You're calibrated. You're not dramatic. You're perceptive. You're not too much. You're the exact amount needed to expose the lies they depend on. Your intuition is the one thing in their world they can't manipulate, can't rewrite, and can't outrun. And that's why you shine. That's why you terrify. That's why you win. Let's continue. Number 3. Their fear isn't leaking. It's pouring through the cracks. A liar's worst nightmare isn't getting caught. It's being seen by someone they can't deceive. Here's the fun part, chosen one. This is where we stop pretending they're confused or misunderstanding you. No, their fear is showing because your intuition is cornering them without you lifting a finger. Every manipulator who once felt so confident in their little games is now glitching like a cheap hologram under a bright light. You didn't expose them. Their own panic exposed everything. They used to relax around you. They used to perform. They used to believe their charm, excuses, and half-baked lies were enough. But the moment they realized your sixth sense sees the truth before they craft the lie, that's when the fear started to bloom. Quiet at first, then louder, now practically screaming through their body language. Imagine watching someone try to walk normally while knowing a spotlight is following them everywhere. That's them around you. Every word is second-guessed, every gesture rehearsed, every smile stiff. You're not watching them, they're watching themselves through your eyes. Terrified, you can read the thoughts they're hiding behind shaky intentions. And here's the quote they'll never say out loud. I don't trust myself enough to be around someone who sees everything. Some distance themselves, hoping you won't notice their guilt dripping through their silence. Others cling to you, desperate to study you like a puzzle, trying to figure out how you keep catching them in the act. They can't crack your method because there isn't one. Your intuition is effortless, and that's what terrifies them the most. You didn't give them trust issues, their own masks did. You just had the vision to notice when they finally started slipping. Let's continue. Number 4. You're their mirror, and they hate the monster staring back. Nothing destroys a fraud faster than the moment they see their true self reflected in someone who isn't fooled. Here's where the blade twists, chosen one. You didn't just unsettle them, you exposed them without opening your mouth. You forced them to confront a truth they've spent years running from. They are not nearly as clever, subtle, or mysterious as they believed. And the moment they realized you could see straight through them, that was the moment their ego cracked like cheap glass. You're their mirror, the one thing they can't manipulate, charm, or deceive. When they look at you, they see every mask they built, melting, every lie they rehearsed, unraveling, every manipulation they perfected, suddenly looking childish. You didn't embarrass them publicly, you humiliated them internally where it hurts the most. Imagine this. A thief walks confidently into a room, pockets full of stolen things, only to find someone staring at them with a knowing smile. Their hands start shaking. Their confidence evaporates. Their guilt screams louder than their excuses. That's exactly what happens when they meet your eyes. Their lies confess themselves before they do. They don't hate you. They hate the version of themselves that you reveal. You strip them of their illusions, their roles, their games. You show them the raw, unedited footage of who they really are. Weak, predictable, exposed. So what do? Do they evolve? Do they face themselves? Do they grow? Of course not. Cowards don't evolve. They attack. They try to break the mirror because they can't handle the reflection. They accuse you of being too much, too intense, too suspicious, all because their own shadows panic when you walk in. But here's the slap they'll never recover from. You weren't made in softness. You were forged from every lie you survived. They can break a mask, they can break a story, but they cannot break a mirror forged from truth. Let's continue. Number 5. The science of why your mind terrifies them. When your nervous system decodes truth faster than their lies form, it stops being intuition and becomes a weapon. Now let's strip the mystique and reveal the cold, clinical reality behind your gift. No fantasy, no magic, just raw evolution, sharpening you into something the average mind is wildly unprepared to face. While they stumble through life barely noticing tone or intention, your system is running silent calculations that would fry their circuits. Your brain isn't guessing, it's processing data, thousands of microsignals firing at once, the flicker in their eyes when they lie, the micro-freeze before they answer, the shift in their breathing when guilt kicks in, the fake warmth in their smile that your instincts immediately flag. They speak one sentence. You've already analyzed 10 layers beneath it. They hope their words convince you. Meanwhile, your nervous system already decoded their intentions before they exhaled. Imagine everyone else watching reality on a broken TV with static buzzing across the screen, while you're sitting in a theater seeing everything in 4K, IMAX, surround sound, with the projector running 10 seconds ahead of the plot. You perceive the moment deception forms in their body language. You feel emotional storms before they erupt. You sense behavioral patterns before they become actions. Here's the slap. You're not reading vibes. You're reading neurological leaks. They're broadcasting, and you're the only one tuned to the frequency. Your brain waves fire differently, faster, sharper, more interconnected. You're picking up invisible information because your perception refuses to dull itself for comfort. That's why you predict behavior with surgical precision. That's why you know when someone will leave, betray, break, lie, or shift long before they do. You're not supernatural, you're naturally superior, and that's exactly why they fear you. Let's continue. Number 6. the damage that turned you into a weapon. They didn't create your instincts. Their betrayal forged them. Here's the part the enemy will choke on. Your intuition wasn't born from peace. It was born from survival. While everyone else was busy pretending life was gentle, you were learning the hard physics of human behavior through wounds you never asked for. Polite society tries burying instincts under smiles and etiquette, but trauma doesn't play nice. Trauma flips every hidden switch in your system and forces your senses online, whether you're ready or not. Imagine being thrown into a room full of actors and suddenly realizing you're the only one who can see the script margins, the mistakes, the lies scribbled between lines. That's what your past did for you. It didn't break you. It calibrated you. It taught your nervous system to detect danger long before danger admits it exists. They wonder how you do it. They whisper about your weird accuracy, trying to decode your method like you're running some secret algorithm. But here's the truth they can't swallow. You earned this the hard way. This isn't intuition you learned from a podcast. This is intuition carved by nights you couldn't trust a soul. Every betrayal sharpened your aim. Every lie refined your senses. Every manipulation made you untouchable. Your instincts aren't a gift. They're evolution with teeth. Let's continue. Number 7. When they can't fool you, you own the room. Power doesn't shift with noise. Power shifts the moment a liar realizes you already know. Here's where the game bends in your favor, chosen one. The instant people realize they can't hide from you, everything in the room tilts. Their confidence evaporates, their strategies collapse. Their entire identity suddenly feels fragile. They start moving around you like dancers who forgot the choreography, terrified one wrong step might expose what they've been hiding for years. They want your insight when it benefits them. They want your accuracy when they're confused. They want your intuition when they're lost. But the moment you turn that same gaze toward them, they flinch, they freeze, they fear. Imagine someone asking for a flashlight, then panicking when the beam accidentally shines on their own mess. That's what they do with you. They want access to your gift, just not accountability from it. And here's the truth they refuse to face. You can't turn this off. Your perception is not some party trick that responds to convenience. It's not a flashlight, it's daylight. It exposes whatever stands in front of it, whether anyone likes it or not. That makes you dangerous, not because you'll harm them, but because your very existence threatens their illusions. Let's continue. Number 8. When they test you, they fail their own exam. Only a guilty mind feels the need to test the one who already knows. Here's the comedy show you didn't ask to attend. The moment they realize you can see through them, they start tossing little tests your way, like nervous magicians trying to impress the judge who already spotted the wires. Fake stories, forced emotions, artificial reactions, cheap tricks meant to expose your secrets, when all they're really doing is exposing their fear. Imagine watching someone stage a whole performance just to see if you'll catch the lie, then panicking because you did. Every test they throw at you only tightens the noose around their own ego. They think they're studying you, but you're watching their mask crack in real time. And here's the part that hits hardest. The smart ones surrender. They drop the act, drop the lies, drop the forced vibes. They come to you raw because they know pretending is useless. But even that becomes a problem because most of them have been performing for so long, they don't even know who they are anymore. Authenticity feels foreign to them. Their real self is just another role, another costume, another shaky attempt to appear human. And you feel every ounce of that effort. They're not testing you, they're exposing themselves. Let's continue. Number 9. When they can't defeat you, they try to exile you. Isolation isn't punishment, it's their confession that you see too much. Here's where their fear turns strategic. When people realize they can't manipulate you, can't distract you, can't hide from you, they don't walk away, they retreat behind walls, they hope you can't see through. Isolation becomes their weapon of choice, but not the dramatic kind. No slammed doors, no dramatic exits, just quiet, calculated distance dressed up as politeness. They stay physically close so no one suspects anything, but emotionally. They flee. They keep you in the group chat, but out of the real conversations. They invite you to the room, but hide the truth under the table. They'll laugh with you, smile at you, even compliment you, all while keeping the door to their real self padlocked shut. And yes, you've noticed it. The way the air shifts when you enter, the sudden silence, the "we'll talk later" look they pass to each other. That's not coincidence, that's fear tightening its grip. Imagine someone holding a cracked vase. Terrified, you'll notice the fracture, so they keep turning it away from you, pretending it's flawless. That's them. They're not protecting themselves from judgment, they're protecting themselves from exposure. And here's the slap. They start rewriting you to protect them. You become too intense, too sensitive, too observant. They pathologize your vision because if they admitted you were right, they'd have to admit they've been hiding something all along. Their smear attempts aren't attacks. They're confessions. Every lie they tell about you is proof of the truth you already saw. Every distance they create is proof of the closeness they fear. Every tactic they use reveals their greatest secret of all. You didn't isolate yourself. They isolated you because your clarity terrifies them. Let's continue. Number 10. Every attack they throw only sharpens your blade. They thought they were breaking you, but they were just teaching you where their weaknesses live. Here's the twist that burns them alive from the inside. Every tactic they use against you ends up making you more dangerous. They think isolation starves you, but all it does is refine your vision. They think lying confuses you, but all it does is reveal their patterns. They think gaslighting weakens your confidence, but it only proves how accurate your instincts really are. They don't realize they're building the very monster they're afraid of. Imagine this: someone keeps trying to blindfold you, only to accidentally teach you how to fight with your eyes closed. That's what's happening. Their attempts to undermine you are turning your intuition into something feral, precise, unstoppable. They're the ones sharpening your edge every time they try to dull it. And now we've reached the stage they feared most, the collapse. Their fake realities begin to crumble under your awareness. Their stories contradict. Their energy slips. Their masks crack under the weight of your presence alone. Because here's the scientific fact of lying. Deception requires maintenance. Truth does not. And you make their maintenance impossible. They're exhausted from pretending. You're thriving from observing. They're unraveling. You're evolving. They trained you by mistake. And now they can't survive what they helped create. Let's continue. Number 11. Watching them fall apart isn't cruelty. It's just consequence. A mask can survive applause, but it can't survive your silence. Here's the delicious part, chosen one, the unraveling, not because you attacked them, not because you exposed them, but because they can't hold their fake selves together in your presence. Their personas are leaking like cheap dye in the rain. The confident ones suddenly stutter. The nice ones reveal venom they thought they hid. The successful ones show hollowness behind the shine. You're not imagining it. You're witnessing collapse in real time. Imagine a sweater snagging on a nail and slowly pulling apart as someone walks forward pretending nothing's wrong. That's them. One lie catches on reality, then another and another, until the whole structure starts dissolving thread by thread. And every unraveling moment happens faster the closer you stand. They know you see it. They know you're cataloging the twitch in their jaw, the contradiction in their story, the panic in their explanations. They can't hide anymore, so they start doing something hilarious. They confess without being accused. They justify things you never questioned. They explain stories you never asked for. They offer reasons before you even look at them. That's not transparency. That's fear. They're terrified of what you've already figured out. Terrified that their truth isn't just slipping, it's spilling. Let's continue. Number 12. Your presence is the truth serum they can't escape. You don't expose people. Your awareness forces them to expose themselves. Here's where the meltdown hits peak intensity. They're confessing to things you never asked about, scrambling to justify actions you didn't question, apologizing for thoughts you never accused them of having. That's not honesty. That's panic. Your presence squeezes the truth out of them like a hand wringing water from a soaked cloth. They can't hold anything in, not guilt, not lies, not motives, because your perception drags it all to the surface. The manipulators, useless now, their tricks bounce off you like dull blades. Love bombing fails because you see the hunger behind it. Gaslighting dies on impact because your clarity doesn't bend. Triangulation collapses because you already understand the entire blueprint of their game before they even set the pieces down. Imagine a magician performing a trick while knowing the audience can see the wires, the hidden compartments, the trap doors. That's what they feel around you, exposed, predictable, embarrassingly transparent. But the real destruction comes from the mirror effect. Being near you forces them to confront themselves, their lies as they speak them, their manipulation as they initiate it, their patterns as they repeat them. You didn't become their judge. You became their involuntary conscience, the self-awareness they never wanted and can't escape. Let's continue. Number 13. When you see through them, they start hiding from themselves. Nothing destroys a liar faster than realizing their mask was never opaque to begin with. Here's where the transformation hits its final, brutal stage. Some of them really are changing, but not out of integrity, not out of growth, not out of moral awakening. No, they're changing because being around you feels like standing under a scanner that reads every flaw they spent years burying. They edit every sentence as they speak, rearrange every thought mid-air, scramble to rebuild themselves into something you can't see through. But it's pathetic. The harder they try to hide, the more their seams show. Imagine someone trying to erase their reflection by wiping the mirror. All they do is smear the truth across a larger surface. That's them. Every attempt to disguise themselves only exposes another layer of panic, another fracture in their identity, another fear they can't outrun. But here's the twist that ruins their sleep. Their trust issues don't stop with you. You triggered a chain reaction they can't shut down. Now they're wondering, if you can see this, can everyone? Have I been obvious my whole life? Has every person seen the truth I tried to bury? Their paranoia spreads like wildfire. They question every compliment, analyze every glance, dissect every conversation. You made them aware of their own transparency, and now they can't unsee it. Their entire social world suddenly feels like a hall of mirrors, all showing angles they never meant to reveal. And here's the delicious irony: they're right to be afraid. Once truth wakes up in one person, others feel it too. When authenticity enters a room, masks get uncomfortable. When someone like you exists, someone who sees without effort, it forces everyone else to confront the possibility that they've never been as hidden as they believed. The final shift isn't you changing them. It's you forcing them to finally meet the version of themselves they've been running from. Let's continue. Number 14, the gift that crushes them and crowns you. Clarity is heavy, but blindness costs more. Their whole circle is starting to notice it now, the twitch in their smile, the sudden stiffness in their posture, the weird silence they fall into when your name comes up. Friends pull them aside asking, "Are you okay?" And they can't say the truth. You rattled their entire identity just by existing. So they invent excuses, flimsy stories, stress, or work stuff. But the lies taste bitter now because they know at least one person sees straight through the performance. Now, let's talk about the weight of your gift. This isn't some victory parade. It's not a superpower you flash like a badge. It's heavy. It costs you sleep. It costs you innocence. It forces you to grow up faster than everyone else. You never volunteered to be the one who sees behind the curtain. You never signed up to carry truths other people can't even process. You've tried dimming it, haven't you? Pretending you don't notice the crack in someone's voice, ignoring the lie sitting between their words, smiling politely while your intuition screams, but it never sticks, because your awareness leaks through even when you're silent. People feel read by you even when you're not trying, and that, more than anything, is what haunts them. Let's continue. Number 15. Your sixth sense is the armor they can't penetrate. Your intuition doesn't just protect you, it ruins the plans they never admitted to having. Here's the truth, sharp and unsentimental. A gift like yours comes with a weight, but it also comes with power. Real power. The kind that forces you to make choices no average mind ever has to consider. You walk around knowing things they haven't even processed yet, so every day becomes a calculation. Do you speak, or do you let them choke on their own deception? Do you correct the lie, or let the liar expose themselves? Do you reveal what you know, or let the silence sting harder? Ignorance would be easier, blissful even. But then you remember every storm you dodged because your intuition whispered, "Not this one." Every smiling face that later revealed a blade. Every situation where people called you dramatic, right before proving you right. And suddenly, the weight doesn't feel like punishment. It feels like protection. Because that's exactly what this gift is. Armor, not flashy, not decorative, necessary. Imagine walking through a battlefield while everyone else is blindfolded. You don't have that luxury. You see the dangers coming. You sense the traps. You detect the intentions hidden behind "trust me." And that awareness keeps you alive in a world where knives are often disguised as compliments. Your sixth sense isn't the cause of their trust issues. It's the reason you're not another one of their victims. Let's continue. Number 16. Their fear builds the freedom you rise in. When they run from your truth, they leave behind the space you needed to grow. Here's the final twist that stings them the most. Their fear becomes your liberation. All that paranoia they spin in circles, all that quiet retreat they think is protecting them, it's actually clearing your path. Their avoidance gives you silence. Their hesitation gives you clarity. Their distance gives you the breathing room to finally hear your own mind without their noise clouding your instincts. Imagine a crowded room suddenly emptying the moment you walk in, not because you demanded it, but because they can't bear to stand under the weight of their own exposed intentions. At first, the silence feels strange, but then you realize what it actually is. Freedom. Freedom from their projections, freedom from their lies, freedom from their emotional smokescreens. Their mistrust isn't your burden, it's your clean slate. You stop absorbing their chaos because they stop bringing it near you. You stop playing their games because they're too scared to invite you to the table. They think they've shut you out, but really, they've released you. Their paranoia becomes your peace. Their fear becomes your power. Their retreat becomes the territory you now claim. Let's finish this. Number 17. You leave with everything they never had the courage to earn. They lose their illusions. You gain your kingdom. Here's the final scene, chosen one. The part where the camera pulls back and reveals what this whole journey truly was. You didn't just survive their lies, you evolved because of them. While they unraveled under the weight of their own masks, you sharpened into someone who sees, knows, and chooses with terrifying precision. Their paranoia caged them. Your clarity freed you. Everything they clung to, control, manipulation, performance, you outgrew. You walk away with the only things that actually matter: truth sharp enough to guide you, intuition strong enough to protect you, strength carved from every betrayal, and peace earned through seeing the world exactly as it is, not as people pretend it to be. Imagine two paths splitting. One leads into a labyrinth of lies they built themselves, and they're still wandering in it, desperately trying to patch holes in a reality that never fit. The other path is yours, straight, clean, open. No illusions, no noise, no masks, just power. They stay trapped in the stories they created. You walk away with self-mastery they'll never touch. And the door closes, not with anger, not with noise, but with that soft, chilling finality that says you didn't win by fighting them, you won by outgrowing them. And now we reach the end of this unraveling chosen one, a journey where every lie collapsed, every mask cracked, and your intuition stood undefeated. You walk forward sharper, calmer, and untouchable, carrying a clarity most people spend their whole lives running from. If this hit you in the places you never admit out loud, then like this video, subscribe, so you never miss another message built for minds like yours. Drop 777 in the comments to seal your presence, and share this with someone who needs to wake up to their own power.